Fancy a trip to Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort, Lancashire, but don't fancy riding the rides? Because yes, there are people out there who this applies to. Then I have got some fantastic news to you. After years and years of nagging from just about every single Pleasure Beach fan on the planet, Pleasure Beach have today finally announced that they are bringing back the non-rider pass. Well, kind of at least. They are running a special offer up until Monday the 4th of November 2024, in which for £50 you can purchase a non-rider season pass. This will enable you to enter the park on any day of the 2025 season, but it won't grant you access to the rides. Nevertheless, you'll still be able to enjoy friends and relatives going on the rides, you'll still be able to purchase food on park, and you'll still be able to purchase merchandise. And all perks regarding this for normal season pass holders will still apply to you. So you'll get things like 20% off your food, 20% off your merch, the list goes on. What is not confirmed yet though is whether or not Pleasure Beach will bring back non-rider tickets for regular guests. And the fact that this is only a limited time offer in terms of the non-rider season pass, it really does make me sceptical. Back in the day when there was a full non-rider scheme in force at Pleasure Beach, as well as the season passes, you did have non-rider day tickets. And these were introduced back in the late 2000s when Pleasure Beach made the decision to move away from a free entry-based system following a lot of security issues and the high costs associated with the park having to employ a lot of security officers to deal with the bad crowds who could just walk on park. The non-rider tickets added a measure of protection regarding this by requiring everyone, even non-riders entering Pleasure Beach, to pay a fee of around about £5 at first, but I believe it rose to £10 later down the line. And it allowed those who didn't want to ride the rides to enjoy the various food and drink offerings on park, as I just alluded to, but they also had a ticketing system in place for rides where each ride on park would cost a certain number of tickets to ride, and you could buy these tickets individually. I'm not sure how much each ticket cost, but it essentially acted as a pay-per-ride system where you could pay for what you rode instead of buying a full day ticket that granted you unlimited rides to everything on park. And it doesn't take a genius to work out that this enticed a lot of people to visit Pleasure Beach who wouldn't otherwise have visited, because there was no need to pay a huge upfront cost for poor value if you didn't ride anything or rode very little. However, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, as a precautionary measure to help cap the number of people on park, Pleasure Beach decided to discontinue this system quite understandably. However, we're now out of the COVID-19 pandemic really, yet they've still kept this system in place, and it's resulted in notably lower visitor numbers ever since. There's been many days where Blackpool has been rammed, but the park has been dead. At the end of the day, people do visit Blackpool for the rides, but when you've got 3 piers along the promenade, one of which is right opposite Pleasure Beach, and they all employ paper ride systems. In the case of those who only want to do a couple of rides and may want to do some other stuff in Blackpool during their day, are they going to pay the huge upfront fee of £50 to visit Pleasure Beach spontaneously, because that's how much it costs, seriously, if you don't book online in advance? Or are they going to pay £2 or £3 for a couple of rides on South Pier? Again, it doesn't take a genius to work out the answer to that. Needless to say, I'm very happy that Pleasure Beach have made the decision to reintroduce these passes. As I've said, they've not confirmed yet that they're reintroducing day non-rider tickets, but nevertheless, this is a step in the right direction, and it's a good sign that that could be on the cards, and I think it'll really help them in terms of their visitor numbers next year and making more money. The big question on everyone's lips though, no pun intended, is with the big one, the park's biggest draw, having lost its unique selling point to Hyperia as it is no longer the UK's tallest operating roller coaster, will Blackpool Pleasure Beach attempt to reclaim the height record? Be sure to go and check out this video on the right side of your screen to hear my thoughts on the matter, and for more things theme park related in the UK and beyond, make sure you click the icon in the centre of your screen to subscribe.